The only good thing about today is you have bragging rights, and there's a few things I want to talk about that are kind of a bone of contention just now. The worst thing about Scottish football just now is the commentary, and I think we'll all agree that you've either got really biased commentators, the likes of Kris, whose analysis of Scottish football is nothing but absurd. But the great thing is, this morning Kris Boyd's in Meltdown. There's also Robbie Savage in Meltdown, and there's talks that Michael Beale's going to be brought in and spoken to by Bennett. So we're going to talk about the meltdown of the two cheerleaders for the other side first. But I want to talk about commentators in football. Now, it seems that Scotland, and you know, England has this as well, but the Scottish narrative seems to be that you have to be an ex-football player to be able to commentate on football or be a football analyst, and that's just not true. And it really doesn't help the game at all. It doesn't help talk the game up. The commentators that you get in are absolute garbage, and they do nothing for the game. They do absolutely nothing for the game. Okay, you played football, and let's face it, some of the commentators that we have on never even won anything. But it is what it is in Scottish football. It is what it is. And today is all about boasting. And my throat is absolutely killing me. So make sure you subscribe. We're only 10 subscribers away from 13,000. And I want to hit that fantastic target today. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel so far. So the breaking news this morning is there's going to be a couple of videos this morning. So watch out for them. The first one is about the meltdown. Absolute meltdown of Kris Boyd and Robbie Savage. We're going to Robbie Savage first of all because he's always an absolute topper. He's an absolute topper. So Savage has been having a moan, and he's been having a moan to his big mate, Chris Sutton, and he said that the Kyogo strike, fair enough. The Rangers disallowed goal and the abundance of missed chances by Rangers is, he says, Rangers were robbed. They were absolutely robbed. Now, we've all seen the pictures. I mean, Rangers fans have put up many pictures of the incident, and they've proved to us that it was an actual free kick. He's got his foot in front of the Celtic player, and that's it. I have to talk about the Kyogo goal first. Talk about the Kyogo goal, because it was an absolute masterclass, and we all agree that Joe Hart's game has changed slightly under Brendan Rodgers, and you'll have to bear with the throat today. And the fact that he kicked the ball out, rather than doing the sideward passing that we've been doing under Ange Postecoglou. And this is what won us the game yesterday. This is what won us the game. So Brendan's tactics won us the game yesterday. Big Joe kicks the ball out. The Rangers defender heads it back. You then get Matt O'Reilly hitting it back. And we all said before the game, we need Kyogo back right in the middle of the park, right up front, playing off the back-ended defenders. And when Matt O'Reilly heads the ball over the defenders, there's only one person that's grabbing that ball, and that's Kyogo. And he did it. And then he made that absolute cracking strike and gets the goal. And that was it. That's just how we needed to play. And people saying that, oh, you know, Brendan's football was slow, it's boring. Where are all those people today? Sorry, I'm going to call you out because you've been moaning on the channel. And you said, you know, is Brendan still the man for the job? I said that it was before. You know, people are saying you'll never forgive him for the way he left. Have you forgiven him this morning? Anyway, let's get back to Robbie Savage. Robbie Savage reckon Beale's side were harshly dealt in regard to Kemar Roof's first half goal, which was ruled for offside. He says Gustav is in a dangerous position. He says, but you know, when it comes to it, the striker played a pass. He said he stole the ball and then he passed it and it was a goal. However, VAR and the officials said that dressers had actually fouled Big Gustav. Lager Gustav. And if you want your Lager Gustav t-shirts, get them at hoopsmerch.co.uk. Right, the fact is, it was a sensational strike, and he can't deny it, right? But Robbie Savage on Sky Sport, on 5 Live, said Celtic played well, but Roof was robbed of a perfectly good goal. Get off the fence, he said to Kris. It should have been a goal. That VAR was shocking decision. Absolutely shocking. Let's be fair. It was terrible decision, he says. VAR in Scotland is awful. It's absolutely hilarious. I love it. Let's get over to Kris Boyd and see what Kris Boyd said. Because Kris Boyd couldn't help having a little dig at Celtic fans yesterday. Even though there was no Celtic fans in the game, he still managed to have a little dig at Celtic fans. which I find absolutely bizarre. And this is what I'm talking about, the level of people that are talking about the game on our television screens. Because let's face it, some people will turn the telly down and not watch the commentary because it is that bad. It is that bad. And it's good that Chris Sutton's went to Sky. We can get a bit of a more balanced look at the commentary. But when you're in the pub, you never hear the commentary anyway. So, Big Boy Day says, Rangers will find it difficult to win the league this season. Oh shit, Sherlock. He says that, he pointed to the statistics. He says it's an unlikelihood that if you don't win in these fixtures, he says there's no sign of improvement despite a busy window for Rangers. He says, you heard of a lot of boos at the end, a lot of angry bears in here. He's under pressure. He then went on to say, he says, look, you're looking at it, it's the first Glasgow derby of the season at Ibrox. You've got to get at least a point. Rangers got beat today. It's very difficult to lose the Glasgow derby and win the league. Statistics tell us that, he says. But, he said, you heard boos from the fans leaving the stadium. There were a lot of unhappy people. He said, Celtic got booed off the park last week when they drew. You could feel the pain, the absolute pain in his voice when he said that. You know, they've failed their two tests. Let's face it, they've failed their two tests, and it's going to be a week that will define their season, if you ask me. And Celtic will go on from strength to strength. We beat them with an under-strength team. When you look at it, we had 5 players that were 5 regulars last season that were not in that team. We've got players to come back. We've got new players that have came into the club that haven't even had a chance yet. Phillips wasn't allowed to play because the management had spoke to Celtic. Now, it would have been, well, you can understand why Brendan didn't come out and tell us this before the game, because then it gives them an advantage, thinking that they're going to know the team. So then when they get the team sheet, like the rest of us, you know, Phillips isn't playing. Phillips wasn't playing because he hadn't had enough time during pre-season, Liverpool said. So during his time, during the next week or so, during the international break, they're going to use that to get him up to speed fitness-wise. And he says, Brendan says he's a Liverpool player. We have to do what Liverpool asked, and they wanted to get his fitness up to make sure that he doesn't get a hamstring injury. Because let's face it, there's been a few players that have pulled up with hamstrings that haven't been 100% fit at Celtic. So it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to get them fully fit before we get them into the team. And let's face it, it's time the international break's done. Our next game isn't for, it's sort of a 2-week period now that we've got a grace free to get players back to fit, and it'll be brilliant for us, because that after that, when people come back after the international break, you get a lot of players that will be fitter that haven't been fit just now. So moving on, it says the good thing is they have failed their big 2 tests. They didn't get into the Champions League group stage, and that spot on Mo's face is not a Champions League spot, I've been told. And let's face it, they didn't beat us. They had every opportunity to beat us. They had everything going for them. They had all the fans. We had no fans there yesterday, and I think that's what makes it all the sweeter. The fact that you've got Chris Boyd in absolute meltdown saying that, you know, when he's got to have a go at Celtic fans for booing their team coming off at a 0-0 draw. And he goes on to say, look, Beale will not repeat history. He will look to beat Celtic in their next encounter. There is absolutely no chance, Chris Boyd, that Rangers will win. Rangers are absolute guff. Beale is not a top-class manager. Brendan Rodgers is a top-class manager. Tell me what you think about it in the comments, and make sure you stick around for the next video in a couple of hours' time that will tell us even more Celtic news, because this one's just been all about the complete meltdown by Chris Boyd, saying that the Rangers manager is now under pressure. The Rangers manager will now go into talks with John Bennett about his future. His future. They're going to do it again. They're going to get another new manager and another new season. And on that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, because we own this day, we own this week, we own Scotland, we own Glasgow, and we own the league. Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, all around the world.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party.